Welcome to our episode of Barbie Saturdays, and this week I decided to take a look at Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses. And I have to admit up front, this is probably not the best one for me to talk about because it's filled with two things I don't particularly care that much for. One, dancing, and this movie is filled with a lot of dance scenes, which don't serve much purpose as far as the plot goes in my opinion. It just acts as padding to help fill out the runtime. And two, classical music. I'm not a big fan of it, so having long sequences, involving dancing to classical music just tends to make me want to tune out and spend a lot of time chucking my baseball, walking around my room, like buying time until we get back to something more relevant, like the actual plot of the movie. Where we start the film off with a guy inviting, King Rudolph's 12 daughters, the 12 princesses to a gala, but then sees just how wild and rambunctious they are from, keeping bug friends to playing, I want to say croquet in the palace, just sending balls flying and hitting people in the face.
Hey, you! Halt!
He's just like, you know what? None of them are invited. They're just too wild and don't have proper, royal etiquette and just leaves. Which makes their father worry, that they just don't behave, properly, when the time comes. So he invites his cousin to help teach them, who's a duchess, but she's rather, badly off. Apparently she hasn't been, managing her duchy rather well, or it's not a very valuable duchy, in terms of resources.
And the carriage, milady.
Oh, we won't be needing it again.
And she decides, she wants to move up the royal ladder, so starts poisoning her cousin and planning to have him sign over, all royal authority to her, when he starts getting really sick from the poison she's been slowly, feeding him through his tea. But eventually, the princesses learn that, she's paying for the poison with their mother's, royal silverware and stuff, and decide to reveal this to their father, but by that point it's too late and he dies. But thankfully, the magic place they're going to dance has magical healing water, so they bring him back to life basically with that, and it's all happily ever after that. So we basically just have a very long, drawn-out version of this story. Honestly, if they cut out all the dancing, classical music stuff that serves very little purpose, you could probably trim this movie down almost a good 20-30 minutes. It could be told much faster. The fact it's as long as it is kind of annoying, because it means the pacing is just very slow. I mean, if you enjoy classical music and dancing, those scenes will probably feel like, well, maybe they're not necessary, but I enjoy them. But if you're like me and don't care for them because they don't add anything to the actual main plot line, yeah, it's a really boring sit to get through this one. So, yeah, it's definitely not a film I'd want to watch again, but if you enjoy it, more power to you, but this is definitely not a Barbie film for me. Till next time, then. See ya.
I wish you would dance forever and ever and ever! What's happening?
Well, I don't know, milady.
I can't stop!
Coming, Your Grace.
Let go of me! Let go of me!
I can't. We're stuck.